Hello, Daniel. Welcome. Are you ready for a nice, relaxing stream of Road Warden? As you see, my dog is. My dog is ready. Are you ready to harness your yoni? Are you ready to reach enlightenment? Are you ready for your inner warden to road? I tried to look for royalty-free dungeon synth music. It's just a bunch of samples. I can't. There's a lot of dungeon synth sounds. I don't know if they have them all copyrighted. I don't want to copyright the first 30 seconds of my stream. Think there's any dungeon synth guys out there who are like really pissed off that I'm playing their dungeon synth music? There you go. 4 hours of fantasy and medieval. It says all rights reserved to the artist. Videos promotional use only. I'm promoting their work right now by playing it. 4 hours of fantasy and medieval ambient dungeon synth playlist. Okay, I was about to make these guys really mad because they weren't listing what songs they had on this 4-hour playlist. But I noticed they are listing this. Actually, just kidding. It's just YouTube auto picking up like 5 songs on the video. So if Dungeon Synth Archives doesn't give a crap, then I'm not gonna give a crap about my copyright. I'm gonna play Dragon King by Dark Creations. What are they gonna do about it? Dungeon Siege OST. Well, yeah, if it's a video game, I can. OST. At least I think I can. Skip that really loud. There we go. That's just... here we go. They can't DMCA me for video game music. I'm in my zen. Dog of wisdom, but not. Hello, Blair, welcome. Yeah, Daniel beat you to the beans. He beat you to the beans today. Yeah. He was right on top of it. He was on the bean pile. He had his finger on the bean trigger. Welcome, Blair. Welcome. Hope you're excited. This game has a lot of reading in it. It's it's almost exclusive. It's exclusively reading. That's the whole game. It's not really my... Ooh. The heck? It's not really my normal cup of tea, but it's a medieval fantasy, dark medieval fantasy setting, and I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So even if I have to read, then fair enough. Practice for voiceover work. I don't know what I'd be voiceovering in the near future, but I am purposely trying to keep my voice low and not over stress it because I'm going to be reading quite a lot. be reading quite a lot tonight. So hopefully this doesn't destroy my voice. I was thinking about initially doing funny little voices for everything, but I watched someone else play it just for a little bit, just to see what's up. There's a lot of reading. there's a lot of stuff to read. So if I were to do like little goblin voices, like if I were gonna talk like this for like the whole stream, it would be over. It'd be over in 30 minutes. It'd be a 30-minute stream. So but yeah, I'm excited to play it though. It's still it was promising writing wise, so I'm excited to see how that goes. May not be the most visually stimulating stream you've ever seen, but you know, you never know. You never know. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. I had kind of half a weekend. I had to work Saturday because at the casino I work at, we had a special festival that was running. Wine Fest is what we call it. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's not so bad. I only ever have to work weekends, you know, like 3 or 4 times a year. It just so happens to unfortunately all kind of be near the end of the year. Any good wines at least? I was in the dungeon. I was in the dungeon the whole time working on stuff, so I didn't even get a chance to taste the wine. Obscene amount of money. Oh, are you finally building your own desktop computer? Is the era of the gaming laptop finally over? That's exciting, actually. That's actually very exciting. After all these years. Yeah, you just needed the FinMax a little. Yeah, Blair knows a person, in fact. Here's a plug for that person. Corvidae Computers. Corvidae Computers. They, I'm currently running a semi-loaner machine from them, and it's been a dream. So, you should definitely take the Kian is as well. That's right. Daniel, you could be the third in the family bloodline to procure a Corvidae computer. But it sounds like you already purchased computer parts. So, maybe it's a lost cause. Vermintide on medium settings. No way. No way. Yeah. I do like putting together a computer. But then this last time I put together my own computer before I had Danielle do it, I pulled an amateur move and I bent the connector pins on the motherboard. So, and this was after like maybe 2 years of maybe a year and a half to 2 years of gathering parts, like saving up for parts. I finally got the processor, and then I just fudged it just a little bit, and I bent one of the pins, and it fucked up the motherboard. So Danielle was very, very kind enough to give me a loaner until I'm able to afford a better rig under the pretense that she builds it for me. Under the pretense that she has total creative control over the box, which I'm more than happy to oblige. Yeah, my first computer, I have a lot of nostalgia for building my first one with that tiny little black box. Just like I bought like a smaller case than the average size, and so I had to jam everything in there. I knew nothing about wire management. But I like followed this step-by-step tutorial on how to like perfectly make your computer like streamlined, disabled a bunch of weird registry stuff on Windows, and that computer lasted me quite a long time. Quite a long time, surprisingly. And I had the default. I didn't even have like a cooling system. I just had the default fan cooling system. So I'm surprised I didn't melt that thing. But then when I built this one, or when I built the one that came before this one, I just lost all steam after I fucked up the motherboard. I was just like, ugh. It's different. It's different when you got. It's back when I built my first computer. I had disposable income. I had income that I didn't need to worry about saving for more important things. Nowadays, I've got shit I've got to pay for. So when I blow my money on computer parts and I end up screwing up the computer part, I just feel like a dunce, an absolute loon. So I'm more than happy to let someone else build my computers from now on. I do like picking out the parts, though. That's very fun. Picking what parts I get to do are very fun. So. Liquid cooling isn't all cracked up to be. Half measures tend to be worse than fans. Yeah, no, what I mean is I literally had like the provided Intel fan that came with the chip. Like I guess that's like a taboo thing, which I mean, part of me knew that, but I'm also surprised how long I went without without a fancy new fan. The one that Danielle put in my computer, it's not liquid cooling. It's just I think it's literally just a giant radiator, and then all the cooling comes from the fans externally, or the fans circulating the air in and out of the box. I don't think there's any fans on the radiator. I may be wrong. I pretty much sat back and let her do the magic there. I was afraid to have any input because I wouldn't know what to say, so I just let her do it. Yeah, convection cooler. That's probably what it is. I think. Oh, I don't know. You're having me hold up. You're having me look at my computer. Give me a second. No, it's got a fan on it. It's just a big radiator with a fan. Yeah, I guess it's still a convection cooler, right? Because it needs to have some way to cool it. There's a fan on it, but it's a giant radiator. There are ones that don't require a fan, apparently, but this one has a fan on the side. This computer has been, I mean, it's been perfect. The downside being I have yet to upgrade to SSDs, so I'm still running stuff on hard drive, which I realize limits my download speed, which I didn't realize. Like, you can only, even if you have good download speed, if you have a hard drive, I think it limits how quickly you can download. It's a fat brick on top of the fan with a fan attached. Yeah. Hello, Blair. Welcome. What was we're talking about what cooling system you put on my computer? It's a big radiator with a fan attached to it. I guess we're wondering what the style is. Daniel says convection cooler. I wouldn't know. Did I call it? No, I said Danielle. Did I say Blair? No, I said Danielle. I hope. My Daniel also. There's also a Daniel in the chat, so this is gonna get confusing. I said Blair. Shit, I fucked up. There's two. It's already gonna be a nightmare from the get go. So water under the bridge. The only difference is the inflection in which I say it. So it's it's tricky. I'm in a slippery slope here. But yeah, it's this big black radiator with a fan on the side. I'm unfamiliar. If that's just standard, I don't know. Yeah. And I remember you mentioning something like they do make ones that are just big radiators with no fan. A be quiet cooler. Okay. Oh, look at that. Must be a popular choice then. It's done me wonders. I ain't complaining. And we're gonna test it out tonight, baby. We're gonna play the most graphic intensive. We're talking HDR. We're talking bloom. We're talking 8x anti-stropic filtering. We're talking 4K resolution, dual processing, graphics enhancers. We're talking pixel density combobulators. We've got the whole thing. I'm gonna blow this machine out of the water. We're gonna test the whole thing. You ready? You got upgrades for me already? Uh-oh. Well, hold up. I've made no progress towards my own collection of upgrades on my end. So we're gonna put it through the test tonight. I think we're good. What do you guys say? You guys want to start playing? We're gonna play the most earth-shattering, most graphics-intensive. You're gonna be so scared by how much graphics is in this game. Behold, might have to move the chat box around. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. This is Road Warden. Turn that music down a little. Narration text speed. Do instant, because I'm going to be reading it, I think. Unless that means someone's going to read it. Let's see. Gonna have easier to read because it's not pixel. Well, actually, we'll try pixel. If pixel font's gonna be hard for me to read since I gotta read it out loud. Describe attitude, show tutorial. Yep. Show quotes. We'll try pixel, but I've got a lot of text to read in this game, and if it becomes a problem, I might switch it back. Skips quotes, show quotes, dev support, achievements on. Okay. All right. So this is Road Warden. It's a text-based RPG where you play as a hero with a quest, from what I understand. I don't know the exact details, but I'm sure we'll find out. All right. It's a multiple choice thing too, so I get to choose. I'm not sure if I'm going to read out every decision they offer because I think that'd be a little exhausting, but I will read out what I decide. Okay. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I still have my doubts. Oh. Whoops. That was the no, don't play the game option. Leave the safety of the city walls. Let's see. Hello? Welcome, Haley. Oh. Let's do... let's see. 40-day time limit, regular rule set. Let's just do standard. The way they intended it, right? Can't be altered, so we're stuck with this. All right, let's see where we're at. Let's move this stuff around. Move these. Shrink everything down. Where can I put you guys? Where would be a good place to put you guys? This is just the settings section, so let's put you guys up there. We'll put me... We'll shrink me down. We'll just put me in the corner right here. That look good? Is that good for you guys? Does that work? Or should I just hide the chat box entirely? What do I just do? I think we'll be able to read it then. Alright, we'll just do this. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood, good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk nor trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It's had a long day. Well, I have a plethora of options here. Let's see. Let's dismount and sneak to the gate. Ooh, or... No, I'm going to look around cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the walls. At best, this trail has few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. Okay, take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Noted. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of a long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. They don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. Here, hold up. Turn that volume down a little bit more. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing a durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. Take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part. Though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I'm going to ask them about their lieutenant. You wonder how whenever you meet a new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Oh. Ooh, this is awesome. So I can either be friendly, playful, distanced, intimidating, vulnerable. And then we got to decide what kind of person we are. That's the question. Are we vulnerable? Be sexy? That's what I'm thinking. Use a joke or a witty comment. That's the closest to sexy you can be, right? I guess intimidating's pretty sexy. But these guys, I'm gonna be playful. I'm sure you're busy, so if you could just introduce me to your lieutenant. The armored soldier spares you a polite smile. Next time, better schedule a meeting. This place gets really crowded these days. She stands up. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. I figured you aren't here on a walk. Let's say if it's me you need to speak with. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? Or are you looking for help? I'm your new road warden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece, all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. It may be a trap. I gesture for her to stop pretending to be embarrassed. I should wash myself first, but you can call me. Yeah, I want to pretend. Yeah, I gotta play hard to get. It may be a trap. I gesture her for her to stop, pretend to be embarrassed. I should wash myself, but you can call me. What's my name? You guys want to know what I name my? So when I'm all alone, and I'm just playing these games by myself, you want to know what I name myself? I name myself something like. Broipingo. Bropigno. No, Pingo. Or like Grungly. That's what I do. Or I do stuff like Foot. So that's just what you're gonna get. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. Foot is the best I can do. That's my name. I'm Foot. I'm Foot. I'm pressing confirm. Nobody's stopping me. Toesucker 9000. Everyone's confirming. It's confirmed. I'm Foot. The lieutenant stands with her hand out, but then raises her arms with an awkward smile. Of course. Just keep your horse away from the tents. He steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. We should also prepare for the night, the soldier in the shirt also rises to it. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. That's fine. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Never really heard a horse described like that. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs to survive, but without it, two would be lost. Oh, your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you two. It's my only companion here. I love me horse. I love me horse. Love me horse, yeah. Takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently, and I lead it to the... You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than its shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't bought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. God, don't you hate it when that happens? Worst of all, you have no rope left. But maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. Oh, get to pick a class. Let's go. So I can either be a fighter, which gives me a gambeson, axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. A talisman to help me use my power, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. A scholar, carry writing instruments, alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe and a healing potion. Mage is cool, but scholar sounds like it. What's the alchemical ingredients? Doesn't that sound interesting to you guys? Hey, what happens if I want to learn more? Here we go. Fighter, you'll have easier time with physical challenges, superior equipment, and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable in other classes, what opens unique opportunities during some social interaction. The best class for beginners. Mages use Pneuma? A versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent and cast few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage, you'll be able to heal faster while resting. Detect magic in mysterious areas, distract the beast with a simple trick, and find common tongue of other magic users. Using mage's powers too freely will result in having no Pneuma. Is that how you say it? Pneuma? Left when you need it the most. Scholars will know about the world's mysteries, help you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Struggle with combat more than other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. Only a person named Foot would be a mage. Scholar, a podiatrist, clearly. See? This is where we're at an impasse. I really want to do scholar. That sounds like I'd have to come up with some clever solutions. It's probably, and knowing me, it's probably the hardest one, and I'm a sucker for playing the hardest class, even though it's gonna inevitably end in my downfall. So we'll see. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna. The mage does sound whimsical, though. Yeah, I'm gonna be a podiatrist. I'm gonna be a scholar. I think that's gonna be good. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it in various settlements. Brew potions. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. Tell me a mage is not a nerd too? I don't know. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. Your spare clothes are still there. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug. Your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put out at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. Why would I? I don't want to eat with them. No, I feel like a scholar would love to talk with people and kind of figure stuff out. Join them. Take a look at the meal. I'm hungry after all. It's a cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, and some strange-looking cereals and blueberries. Yo, they're giving me freaking, oatmeal. Those like instant oatmeal packs. This is awesome. Yeah, it's called Bedside Manner. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Road wardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlements stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they only use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyle. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste. I don't know, dude. It's just oatmeal with blueberries. It sounds kind of fine. Then speak with Tulia. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I'd like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of the summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? Expect not much. No soul governs these. I can either share what I consider to be relevant, what I've discussed with the officials. Dude, fuck the officials. These are the boys. These are the guys on the streets. I share what I consider to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, since this area is too far away from Haviland? Man, this is going to be a tough one. Havlavlin, to keep it under control. You were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunity. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Oh, great. All right, now we got questions. Hobgoblin. What should I know about the peninsula? Any ideas what happened to previous road warden? I've lost my rope. Should I just come out the gate like, hey, can I have a rope? My most pressing question. What was your squad's mission? What happened to the previous lieutenant? How'd you become? What was your squad's mission? What's happened to that? The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the roads safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. You sense no hesitation. You have any other questions? What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened. And monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look in. We had to travel through the night for a bit. Bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would have all died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap. The armed ones pretend to be soldiers, stay there at night, lose everything you have. What about, that's these guys. These guys are the slave. These guys are the bandits. They're just trying to pull the wool over my eyes. You can't trick me. I went to college. Sounds like slave hunters. Tulia sighs. Very much so. They killed some and took others away, who knows where. They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. Kind of worked, adds the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. We wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road. Saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well? Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader. They didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant. The other one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, but didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. I'm going to stay silent. Tulia seems defeated. Ooh, yeah, see, that's how you don't give him an inch, baby. You don't give him an inch. You get what you want, and then you take it all, you keep it all to yourself, man. No one gets to know the inner machinations of my mind. I went to college. How'd you become a lieutenant? That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Hobgoblin chief selects commanders. Those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If the lieutenant dies, they got replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. Hit by a slingshot. Boyfriend jumped to help. Oh, so he must have like got knocked out by the slingshot, and then a spell blew up and decapitated them. She pauses. You were the third one in line. Jumping like that should save a man in the middle of an attack doesn't sound like a wise decision. I'm not gonna get. These guys are soldiers. They're not gonna take shit from me being like, you shouldn't have jumped on that grenade, man. They're gonna love. They would do that in a heartbeat. You were the third one in line. Is that right? Basically, yeah. She says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader though. I got demoted once we returned to the city. Prefer to follow anyways. Or I'll get demoted once we return to this. Any ideas what happened to the previous road warden? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. Soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few weeks ago. Or a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on the wax tablet of it. Yep, you leave at dawn. Unlike us. Oh, yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Julia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Guessing Asterion is the previous guy. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. Man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his Saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer road wardens often used four-legged, meat-eating saurians as mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, they can defend themselves easily from many monsters. At least, your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. You know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message. Neither of us had any insight into his dealings, said Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We had took a look at Asterion's stuff. Wait! She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hoblobian. I'm just going to change it to a different name every time. I'm planning on taking all these things here. I was planning on taking all these things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned, you know nothing about her. She either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us. Tell us what you've learned about the man, and you'll get back to Havlavian together? You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Havlavian in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he's begrudging you or anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear, mostly, maybe 5 feet tall but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her leg. To find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left. Just let me know. Dude, this road warden, I'm like day 1 into my trip and it's already hell. I show up to this place and it's just like normally the front lines are where it's bad, but this is like, I would imagine, the back lines. I've got 40 whole days to do this. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing. Oh, sorry, I already read that part. Let's see. I don't really care about the camp. I'll ask for a rope now. You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Take a closer look. Ooh, a fine rope. Haha, score. I'm not going to offer food. I'll just take it. She's giving it to me. It's called a gift. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I guess it'd be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get there? You nod. The sea route allows Havlavian officials to keep in touch with the coastal village, collect taxes, move their soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths of... Hey, Kyle, this is Road Warden. So far, it's one of those stories that we find out about the world and we find out about our mission as we go. I think the gist of it is we play a Road Warden, which are these people tasked with basically being like messengers and guardians and kind of the through line between civilizations in untamed lands. So we were sent here to patrol this road from one city to another on this coastline to make sure everything's in order, to send messages to people, stuff like that. Because it's understood that everywhere between here and the other safe place is pretty much wildlands. And so it's a fantasy setting, so there's fantasy creatures, there's magic and stuff like that. Right now we are in like a camp that was run by a bunch of this camp here was run by a bunch of bandits that tricked people into thinking they're soldiers, and in the nights they were like slavers. They would steal people away and sell them. But these guys apparently, with their squad of people, went through here and killed them all or something like that. But we don't really know if these guys are actually soldiers or not. Odds are they are, though, but it's just based on the way they've been talking to us and their information about the road warden on these roads and everything like that. So we'll see. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know how much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to this camp, but when we travel to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade, play dice. Why not just stay on one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post, and, well... He turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Foot, but are you a devout soul? Don't take it the wrong way, but feel it about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. All right, I have quite a selection here. So I can be part of the normal fantasy church that hates dark magic and loves and believes there's a binary good and evil. I could be about herbalism and magical research, kind of more like Gnostic religion. Freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of my life. My community is unique and independent, so I could be part of a cult. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my belief may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. Or I could just be a boring old atheist. In a magical world, imagine being an atheist. Doctor's true path is paganism. That's true. But The Order of the Truth is all about artistry and herbalism and magical research. Aren't I a scholar? Like, I could be a scholar in any of these, but I feel like Order of the Truth is pretty. That's chiropractics. So you think a podiatrist, a footman would be a pagan? Yeah, let's do pagan. A pagan road warden? The man scratches his head without the slightest subtlety. Now, I'm sure we can have a conversation. We're civilized people. Ooh, that was a bad choice, guys. These are Christ-fearing individuals. The lieutenant clears her throat. I'm from the United Church. Ooh, yeah, fuck. I told you. No one asks, do you believe in God, and expects some sort of open-minded question or answer, all right? When someone asks you, do you believe in God, they want you to say, the real question they're asking is, do you believe in my God? I'm from the United Church, but I'm not a priest or anything, and definitely not a zealot. There's an awkward pause. The United Church has spilled the blood of countless pagan tribes, making it clear that who's not with them is against them. Your family shared gruesome stories about the atrocities committed by priests against your ancestor. Dang. They had to bring up religion. Now I'm not going to be friends with these guys. I'm going to take the higher road, though. Sure, I'm not looking for squabbles. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. About to say Order of Truth fits scholar before you pick the pagan. Yeah, I think pagan sounds like maybe I'll have more like a wild time when I'm outside of town. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe I'll be like, I'll run into a deer and it'll be like, if I wasn't a pagan, it wouldn't do anything. But if I am a pagan, it'd be like, holy shit, that's the deer god. I feel like if I picked, they would have been indifferent. I bet you they would have had a similar response even if I had picked anything but United Church. So, we'll see. Where am I? The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. Even as a priest who claims to be an eremite, you nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. Dude, that's just called efficiency, man. What else are you going to do with the bodies? Just let it sit there? Zombie village. Good. Noted. Yeah, some sort of necromancy nonsense. I've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. Or you've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with. The rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom and traitors to humankind. Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? That's true. I need to play someone who loves me horse. I'm a pagan, but I love me horse. Love me horse. None of that matters to me. Can anything on the road kill me horse? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man started to count on his fingers. Goblins, tree ants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glanced at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. Trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coasts and mountains. That's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Wait, I can do that in real life. Oh, immersion. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. Are you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckled. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a road warden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelter. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Tulia nods. Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep on their guards. Ask them about the... Well, how about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw tunnels sculpted in the leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. That's all I gotta know. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. Don't need to know anything about the camp. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly. The inn, of course. Grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. Can't afford the room. The main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather here. The northern road is much more traveled. Mentions Tulia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that. You'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. That's kind of my thing, though. I'm kind of like all about cheap jokes. I'm sure he'd like one. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied upon. He doesn't trust me enough to tell me about her squad's mission because I don't believe in her god. I guess if I had chosen United, whatever, she would have told me about her squad's mission. I guess I'll ask about the camp, since I won't get the information about her squad. The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys. Just between the inn and the southern villages, there's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep wherever you want, the man concludes their tale. Though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. Well, it's getting late. I agree, Tulia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you and shattering the mask of a soldier. You're a person? You're a human being? I thought you were just a soldier. My immersion. Thank you for your help. One more thing, if I can. The bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Oh, can you take the first watch? Splitting time between three people makes such a great difference. Please, oh, please take the first watch. You think for a moment. To fully rest, you need a good sleep. Ah, what a loaded question. What a jerk. I went on a 4-day trip here. They've just been waiting around. Sure, their friends all died, but I'm pooped. I'm exhausted, man. He nods, but the spark in his eye wears off. I better put on my armor. He walks past you, heading to his tent by the southern gate. Yeah, not my problem, guy. I go to my mount. Stay tidy to have a better chance at influencing others. Okay. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. I look for a place protected from the wind. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blankets on the ground, and cover myself with my cloak. You aren't used to sleeping in such harsh conditions, but it's better than nothing. The weather is gentle. Maybe you won't catch a cold. The stars instantly inspire your dreams, both with their splendor and by making you look for patterns and shapes among them. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. Alright. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory, resources, and threats, get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Havlavian officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? I feel like blood magic's fine. Unless, I don't know how blood magic works in this world, but if it's like blood magic and other things, you're using your blood to do magic, that's fine, as long as you're not using other people's blood. Necromancy, I can see the gray area there. But yeah, we need to make sure robbery and slavery are eradicated, for sure. At least I have time, 40 days to be exact. I need this to be as thorough as possible. Dang it, I shouldn't. Now I'm kind of regretting, not regretting picking Pagan. I think Pagan makes this a very interesting story to tell. But now that I know I'm kind of a pawn for like the United Church and the Merchants Guild to like see if I can convince all these like locals to be incorporated into the country, now I just feel like a dick. I hope there's an option for me to like revolt against them or something, which I don't know. I have a hunch that'd be an uphill battle. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Tulia and return to Havlaven. There you will report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Oh, cool! So I get to pick my personal reason. So I need to gather enough money so I can help a person I care about. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early. I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. I just want to help people make this region safe for locals and newcomers alike. Well, I don't know, guys. What do you think? I'm kind of leaning, I kind of want to be a hero. That just seems kind of fantasy enough. I don't want to be part of the Merchant Guild. That seems just kind of... I'm just not an establishment man. I'm a pagan. I feel like, unless I'm trying to like destroy them from the inside out. Make this region safer. So I'm thinking either I'm a questionable foot doctor who had a questionable collection of images of feet stashed away that I need the press not to know about, or I can just be normal. Commit to the altruism of the podiatrist. So you're thinking I should do the Merchant Guild, or you think I should the hero footman? The most selfless of medical professions. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah. I want to help people. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid late summer air evens it out slowly. You can't travel during the night. Press the sleep button to rest. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. All I can do is rest. Save right here. Oh, it's quick save. Oh, that's fun. Sleep. Sleeping on the ground. Your blanket won't be much of a bed, and the palisade barely covers you from the wind. Sleeping here will be severely uncomfortable. Like I got a fucking choice. Now I'm no longer presentable. I need a bath. I did go with help people, didn't I? I picked the help people one. I just didn't pick the hero one. I picked maybe the non-committal. Look, buddy, I don't want to be part of any of this. I'm just going to be a nice guy. I picked that one. I just gonna, I just want to see people's feet, want to make sure their feet are all right. You guys could take over the land, do whatever you want. I just want to worship my pagan gods and look at some feet. Is that so bad? Right? You scratch my toes, I scratch yours. That's what I'm saying. You're surrounded by sunlight. Your back begs you to stand up. Before you fully wake, you smell a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls towards your consciousness. You stand up. Normally, you would dust off your cape and blanket, but your instincts are stronger than your routine. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. Uh-oh. Go outside and see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Foot. Hey, Foot. She greets you with a nod. We use the horse's manure for flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. Oh, thanks, man. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter. A young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. Shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be the real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Oh, I'm guessing... Okay, so they were a zombie. Okay. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls the undead a she. Most Unites hesitate to do so. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe I can convert them to my pagan ways. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She looks again at the fire. Find us here if you learn what happened to Astorion. We leave once the fall comes, if not sooner. Safe travels. Yeah, maybe pagan wasn't the worst choice. Yeah, I feel like I'm like giving myself more freedom to do stuff. These words make you stop. An old farewell mocked in a number of songs and tales. But yet, you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. She observes the fire of one hand on her hip, the other one on her chin. I prepare myself for the journey. You gather your equipment and spend half an hour warming up and preparing your mount, double-checking the buckled straps. You put on your gambeson and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt. Travel button to see the map, okay. And then get in the saddle, the palfrey knickers, and readies to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. All right, let's click on that travel button. All right, I will be right back. I need to go get some water real quick, and then we'll continue the story. How do you guys like it? You guys liking it so far? This is good? Am I boring you? Is this story intriguing? I'm kind of into it. A lot of reading. I have a big jug of water here, so I think it's all really cool. I love stories like this. Dark fantasy, atmospheric, it's all good. Love the ambience too. Normally I just go to my BRB screen, but I like this ambience noise. So let's just listen to that while I'll be right back in like 5 minutes. Bebo's being really cute on my floor right now. She's like rolling around on her back. Oh, she wants me to play. Oh, she just, oh, bye. She just like chirped at me and then meowed and walked away. All right, very cute. All right, I'm back. All right. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia. Return to Hovlavian. All right. Onward and upward, as they always say. Better out than in, I always say. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. Hold up. Gotta take a big stretch here real quick. 1 second. Oh, yeah, okay. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but at the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of 4-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes, and merge the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is a different size, coat, and colors. Their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Quick save here. Consider my options. The dice icon marks the actions that involve a random chance. Great. On occasion, you can use your Scholar's Education to unlock unique interactions. Oh, let's go. Nerd points. Oh, check it out. I mix black powder with Gladden that grows nearby and dried skunk sorrel from my bag. Once I ignite it and throw it at the griffins, they'll scatter. Let's go. Throw some meth at the birds. Learn more abilities on your character sheet. Oh. Okay. Neat. Threw some meth at the birds. Some city folk feel aversion towards black powder, and you touch it with great care. The odor of the plants make you feel dizzy, but what's more important is that the griffins have wolf-like sensitivity to smells and noises. Few of the beasts turn their heads towards you as you approach with the pack with a bag in your hand. You ignite your missile and throw it forward. At first, the creatures surround the source of smoke, but then growl in disgust, even putting their beaks in the ground. They flee, allowing you to continue your journey. Get scienced on. Get science on. Saul, where are you? There you are. Thank you, Saul. I climb on the horse and cover my nose. I really need to find a proper alchemy set. Get scienced on, frankly. Honestly. Got achievemos. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How'd it go? I ain't singing this. The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? I'm guessing they're trying to rhyme lair with dare, so dragon's lair, truly dare. The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put there by someone who can't write. Folks who can't read, covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. Well, what do you think, horsey? Where do you think, horsey? What's my horse's name? Oh, shit. What is my horse's name? Toes? I'm Foot and my horse's name is Saul? That's so true. Then we can call him whenever we need him. I can't make a decision. Better call Saul. Am I right? We'll name him Saul. Saul. Saul is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Saul is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Hold up. Yes. I gotta take a screenshot of that. It's all as peaceful as you stroke its mane. Thank you. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you've spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Now, does that mean I can come back here in 2 weeks and get berry shrubs and wild cabbages? Because that would be incredible. I know there's 40 days in this game, so it'd be crazy if I could just be like, oh yeah, remember that random fork in the road that I took 2 weeks ago? I should head back. I should head back there. Get some wild cabbages. I guess it's time to travel. Alright guys, so here's the deal. If I go left, there's the inn. I get to talk to the innkeeper and whoever else is there. If I go east, who knows? East is a mystery. It's overgrown. No one goes there. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think I should do? I crave human attention and validation. True. Can't get those toes any other way. Should I go left towards the inn or right towards unknown, far less traveled land? You guys don't want to go to the inn? You guys just want you guys want to I guess I am a pagan. I guess nature is swag. I do find nature quite swag and goated with the sauce. So I kind of, to be honest, I'm kind of thinking going east too. I know going left is probably the is probably the wise move, but I'm curious. You know that, was it Hemingway, The Road Less Traveled By poem? Come on. I mean, I'm not, come on, I'm cool. I'm hip. The curvy road east is overgrown. Saul trots when it has a chance, but more often it walks. Forced to jump over larger branches blocking the path, the nearby lake is surrounded by thirsty wildlife. I observe the dark forest, ready to react if something jumps at me. A couple of stone slabs were turned into a hut-like shape, one of the ancient chapels raised by the priests of the United Church in the days of few soldiers and even fewer shelters. The dolmens proved to be especially durable, though the conditions they offered were harsh. The entrance is barely wide enough to let you walk inside. It was meant to keep larger beasts away, including your palfrey. You can't spend the night here. You dismount and look around. Let's see what that hourglass is all about. That's right, that was a Robert Frost poem. It was a 50% chance. It was either Frost or Hemingway. I would have gotten it. I was 50-50. It's the most common religious sign of the city folk, adapted by the United Church. Fun fact, the hourglass is the icon for this game. So I'm looking at my taskbar right now, and the hourglass is the icon, so interesting. I'm sorry. Adapted by the United Church, Orders of Truth, and majority of fellowships. It's used in temples during the funeral rites, and also to decorate codices or jewelry. The winged hourglass portray the ephemerality of life and rigidity of time. When possible, they're made of steel, signifying the strength of humankind's determination and innovation. I feel disgusted by this cursed symbol. I should defile it. Hemingway wrote about the misery of life from the deck of a ship. Robert Frost wrote about how cool nature was. Chad Robert Frost. Virgin Hemingway. Shouldn't have gone on the boat. Ernest. What do you... Okay, guys, how into paganism am I? I mean, I went right. They have feet. That's so true. Look, I would be just like them. All right? If I destroyed their sacred symbols, I would be just like them. All right? I'm not going to stoop to their level. Saul is looking for the next clump of grass to graze upon. I enter the chapel. Like, I feel like if I would, like, being alone and making that decision is just kind of like, why? No one's there. No one's going to know you did it. Like, you just have to have some inner damage that you need working out in order for you to do that. The beams of light get through the gaps between the rocks, but you can hardly see anything. A torch would fill the place with smoke, but a candle would suffice. You wonder how many travelers have sat in the cold rock, observing the entrance and fighting with their heavy eyelids. Ground. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is like a text adventure game? Use your keyboard to name objects you're interested in? Slab. Oh. This is awesome. Holy shit. Even though a part of the ground is covered with a single massive slab, there are parts free of any flooring. You see soil, small rocks, sand. In one spot, you find the remains of charred wood. Look for something else. Toes. You don't find it, or I don't know what you're talking about. Remains. Charred wood. Part of the floor is littered with remains of an old campfire, not more than a couple of months old. You see dust, burnt bones, and wood. The wall above this spot is covered with soot. Bones. Burnt bones? Wood. Soot. You notice sticky soot on the walls. Part of it is covered black marks and pictures, possibly letters. Parts of it cover black marks and pictures, possibly letters? Letters? Oh shit! Let's go! Oh, this is awesome. I was worried this game was just going to be kind of a multiple choice game over and over again, but now that I could do text adventure stuff, this is kind of exciting. A large part of the wall is covered with engravings. It's difficult to figure out what they are meant to portray, but one picture is obvious to you, a long arrow pointing down. Parts of the writing as well as the nearby wall is covered with soot. Time to use my actually technique. I understand what's written here. Hell yeah. Yeah, this arrow right here, the images and letters are a combination of two separate texts, actually. So, I went to college. The first one is written with words of Adir and belongs to an era as old as the dolmen itself. It's impossible to decipher it, but you can make sense of it by connecting some words in the general structure. It was a prayer or a spell asking for a safe road. The other messages are maybe a couple years old. While they use the same alphabet, they tried to express the modern city tongue. The list of wares, something portrayed by images, and their value in dragon bones. Some of the pictures are used as obscene insults. You see, for example, the head of a griffin or a sketch of a wolf. Someone was not happy with the prices they saw. One passage is especially interesting. Trap door payment. Trap door payment? Trap door? Oh, shut up. This is fucking awesome. Holy shit. You make a couple of small holes into various spots, but the most interesting area turns out to be the hidden beneath the remains of an old campfire. You move all the ash and pieces of wood until you find a well-preserved plank. You dig around, finding a solid trapdoor locked with a steel padlock. Let's go. Forget our quest. Let's just discover what this cult's all about. I break the trapdoor with my axe. You take your axe, but realize the padlock may be easier to break through. The wooden planks, even if a bit moist, are in great shape. You look for the right angle and make 3 strong swings. After an encouraging clang, the padlock falls off. What's up, AU? How you doing? I saw you were messaging me on Twitch earlier. I'm sorry I didn't respond to you. Let's look inside. You lift the hatch, and the heavy, humid air suggests an abandoned farm cellar. Your candle allows you to estimate the tunnel is roughly 15 feet deep, and there's no ladder that you can use. You think about lowering the rope, but you realize that one of the brick walls is covered with large holes, meant to be used as sort of vertical stairs. You hear no sound coming from the tunnel. but moldy walls and old cobwebs are not very welcoming. Yeah, good thing. Well, I don't even need the rope. I'm going down there. My pagan people worship the mold gods, actually, because foot fungus, you know, when it happens, we believe that to be a blessing, actually. You have to move slowly, learning the new route. You hug the cold and moist wall, seeking the support of your boots. It doesn't take long before you feel comfortable enough to jump down, then light up another candle. Penicillin is a pagan discovery. Both the walls and the floor are made of stone slabs. You see no movement, no other sources of light. The short tunnel leads you to a small room. The room smells of rotten wood and fungi. Abandoned junk is scattered on the ground in shelves. Earthenware jars, rotting scraps of linen or leather, wooden plates, bones for carving, and rusty iron. While these odds and ends may be years or decades old, the basement could be just as ancient as the main floor at the chapel. The one thing that seems to be uniquely fresh and durable is a small wooden box held together by a few fiber cords. I'm going to take the box. And let's see here. It doesn't feel empty, but it's light. You shake it for a bit, trying to guess what's inside. You can't open the box without cutting the cords. Oh, I want to know what's in the box so bad. I guess we don't like... Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to keep it intact. Because we already broke in, so if we do run into this guy... That's true. I'm going to keep it intact. It's light. It's small. Whatever it is, I don't care. Toes are heavier than that. It can't be disembodied toes. Toes aren't good without the feet. You climb up quickly. Climb down again. Climb up and then climb down again. Alright, go outside. Nothing else for me to do here. See you later. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna drink some water before reading this. Alright. The neglected path barely finds any let me start that over. The neglected path barely finds any space among all the hills, trees, and streams. There's a deer on the ground, lying in a red puddle. Surrounded by a small pack of creatures, which notice your presence immediately. There's about 8 of them, with thick furs in shades of brown, gray, and black, and hairless faces with small red eyes and large mouths, currently stained by the blood of their prey. Some of them move on all fours, while others comfortably stand on 2. There are 2 to 3 heads shorter than you, but it's your mount which truly towers over them. It's your mount that truly towers over them, and you see how a couple of the beasts take a few steps back, grunting and glancing at one another. The one with the gray fur shouts, and the others move towards the rocks and sticks that are piled on the road. They hold them awkwardly. Some struggle to maintain a straight posture, leaning on their new weapons for support. Then, almost all of them spread out to your left and right, blending with the shrubs loudly. Only 2 of the apes are standing still. Do you think I could intimidate them? Do you think I could just be like, I'm a big guy on a horse? Do you think I could, like, scare them off? Let's save here. I grab my axe. Alright. Saul tries to turn around but loyally follows your directions. I can either charge them, scream at them shaking my weapon, look behind me just to be sure they're not already there, make a few threatening swings, focusing my attention on the beasts that entered the forest. I'm gonna look behind me. Okay, you see a surprised goblin, which, as far as you can tell, was not part of the group surrounding the carcass. It's holding a wooden spear, or rather a pointed stick, longer than the creature is tall. The symbols are random chance, so when you decide to pick them, there is a chance they'll fail. Alright, grab the spear and pull it, dodge the hit. I need to charge the goblins down the road before this one attacks me. I'm gonna try to be a Chad and grab the spear and pull it. You grab the spear and struggle a bit to take it away from the goblin, but it turns out to be stronger. It hits you through, though only lightly, not even piercing your armor. Still, it takes a triumphant cry, and the other goblins shout both at you and one another. They suddenly leap forward, trying to get to you from multiple directions at once. There's more of them now than at the start, over a dozen. I can't win, and I can't run away. Oh, fuck. Rush! Your mount speeds up. Though it doesn't have enough space to enter a gallop, you prepare your weapon. But while you feel somewhat comfortable with a blade within on foot, fighting from a saddle is completely unfamiliar to you. The younger goblin attempts to stop your horse, but the strike it receives sends it to a nearby bush, screaming in pain. The gray one, however, manages to grab your boot and is now trying to keep up with your speed, making one long leap after another. The first strong swing of your axe wasn't able to reach the target. A spear would do better in this scenario. I have to run. I have to go faster. I'm not physically strong, so if I just tell my horse, if I tell Saul to go faster, I think I'll be good. You put your entire trust in your horse. Damn straight I do, but it looks like it fucked me up. God damn it. Trying to endure the pain on your ankle, focusing on the reins, Saul does its best, but your encouragement is not enough. Oh, thanks. And your understanding on how nimble the goblin can be. Even after your mount makes a long jump, the beasts keep up with it, making your legs hurt more and more. It takes over a minute before it gets too tired or maybe just too scared and leaps away, landing on its hind limbs and shouting at you. Your leg is in pain, but it's free and the road is clear. God, right after I found the cool box, they gotta throw them goblins at me. I'm one hit away. That's fine. I've got potions. It's fine. For a few more moments, you hear the angry shouts and screeches, but soon after that, it's only you and your mount. Time to see what we're going to find down the road. Now I can't turn around because there's goblins back there. See what's in my inventory real quick. Got my fresh healing potion. There we go. We should drink that now. I was at 1 health. Honey, raspberries, and wormwood. That sounds awesome. No, that sounds delicious. What are you talking about? I could get over the wormwood taste. Your shell feels refreshed, strong, ready to act. Even the scratches are instantly healed. The static warmth fills your limbs, and you can't help but smile and giggle for a few breaths. Yeah. Can I pet Saul? Can't. There we go. Now I'm not too worried. We'll save here. I'm gonna do a full committed run. I don't want to do some cheese strats. I'm gonna commit to the bit. A round pine tree blocks the road. For a wayfarer, walking over the thin branches at the top is not much of an issue. Even Saul, led on a rope, could walk around the stump, but a large wagon couldn't move onward in one piece. At least not without detaching the mules, unpacking all the wares, and moving everything by hand. Oh, I think they misspelled by hand. And moving everything by hand. Cutting a tree into pieces would take hours. Even with proper tools, you can't hope to move it with just the muscles that you and your mount have to offer. Oh, I should consider taking a wash in the river. Let's look around first. Look by the river. It would only take 2 steps to disappear into the deep water. The rocky bank smells fresh and is filled with sounds of frog, insects, and birds. It's not a good spot to quench your thirst. The beds of long kelp pulled by the flow of the river are crowded with fish and 4-legged creatures that you don't even recognize. You keep an eye on the land. There's no carcass in sight and no signs of shells that would be left nearby. Look at the wagon. The planks are still firm, and there's no mustiness in the air, but the vehicle needs a push to fall to pieces, like a child's toy with nothing to keep the parts together. There are ways to construct a wagon with just wood, leather, and fiber, but you find the marks of hinges, braces, nails, and clamps, which are now all gone. The wheels are missing their steel rims. Find only one linen bag, empty and moist. You can't estimate how deep the tracks are. The ground was hard, so the cart's weight wasn't a significant factor. Let's look at the bushes. Found an arrow. There's no berries left, only broken twigs, fallen leaves, and trampled grass. You notice a pointy arrow made by a human hand with a head made of horn and black-orange fletching. These feathers originally belonged to one of the local pheasants. You see no arrow marks around, not even on the wagon. Interesting. Take a look at the tree. The leaves are not completely dry, and when you break one of the twigs, it still contains water. There are no signs of sickness that you can recognize, and the termites and other bugs are still sparse. Beneath the trunk, there is no blood, no abandoned limbs. You don't find any marks on of maw or paws. The top is The top is hip high and unnaturally smooth. You comfortably sit down on it. Look at the tracks. In the trampled grass, you find 2 sets of tracks to follow. There are no hoof prints. The first set is near the destroyed wagon. The wayfarers suddenly stopped. You can see where they made a sharp turn. The second trail is close to the tree stump. Most of the marks were left by flat, cheap boots, not suitable for long walks. But someone was wearing a hard, wide heels, distorting the ground. Both trails avoid the eastern wilderness. They stick to the main road and lead to your north. They could have belonged to 24 people. You follow them for a bit, but lose them once there's no more mud and tree needles to find. Does this take time every time I do this? Let's see, the road. Okay, it doesn't. The road here is already being overgrown, fading away, but it's in no worse shape than other parts of the southeastern road. No alternate path is formed around the blockade. So no one has traveled here since this happened. The western hill. The rocky wall isn't much of a challenge. The top of the hill is covered with short grass and sparse trees. You notice a couple of bushes with a good view of the road just next to the remains of a campfire. Charred pieces of wood, ash, bird bones, trampled grass, and broken earthen bottle. You follow the deepest tracks leading to the edge of the soft earth. Someone jumped down or at least stopped stepping on the grass. You walk deeper in the wilderness, searching through the shrubs and trees. You don't find any side paths nor remains of a camp or a hamlet. The first game trail you find has been used exclusively by animals. Well, this is a robbery, right? They didn't kill anybody, but there was no sign of a struggle. Why is there only 1 arrow in the bush? No arrow on the... Huh. I mean, it must have been a real clean, smooth robbery. Like, in order for them to pull that stuff. Yeah, they took all the steel off the place, too. They must have taken the people, too. I think they took the people, too. Broken by monster, broken by wind, dying from illness. It's cut down to set up an ambush. Why was the wagon abandoned? Oh. But see, there's no arrow marks on the wagon. So the people in the wagon must have just not had the means to fight back. But why did they come back and take all the steel? Like, they must have had time to. I'm going to say attacked by highwaymen. I have no idea what was originally being sold. You think valuable? But it said it wasn't, whatever it was wasn't heavy enough. Passengers. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. What happened to the owners of the wagon? They were taken north. You think that the tree was cut down to set up an ambush. The cart, which transported human passengers, was attacked by highwaymen. Its owners were taken north. Are you sure this is most likely what happened? Jesus, I don't know. What am I going to be in trouble for? I just what's confusing me is that there wasn't sign of a struggle. So I guess it just was, yeah. It's as close as I'm gonna be. While you can't be sure of what really happened here, you don't think there's much left for you to find. Let's hope you haven't missed anything. I'm not gonna wash myself in. I'm not gonna wash myself in the river. It's like 2 feet. It's like a dangerous river. I think. I seem healthy and my face is dirty. That's normal. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I'm gonna look one more time. I'm sorry. There were people waiting at a camp to ambush them. No hoof prints. See, that's what's weird. Wayfarers suddenly stop. You can see where they made a sharp turn. Second trail is close to the tree stump. Most of the marks were left by a flat sheep boot. Both trails avoid eastern wilderness. They stick to the main road, lead you north. Could have belonged to 24 people, maybe more. You follow them for a bit. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They were attacked by highwaymen, passengers. Taken north. Sure. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. As long as you ride uphill, the forest is sparse. This audio, I feel like the ambient volumes, is it not loud enough for you guys? Turn the music down because the music's kind of loud. Is that too loud? You can hear the birds? Okay. As long as you ride uphill, the forest is sparse. Soon after, the trees' roots tear the path apart. The road is coated with branches, acorns, leaves, and chestnuts. Some seedlings have already broken through the pitted surface of the road. If left undisturbed for another year or two, the forest will reclaim this place. Finally, you ride upward again. Plants are getting smaller, the road more rocky. I sigh with relief. When the hills are full of life, you don't hear anything coming from the watchtower. Its upper levels lacks a wooden platform from which the guards could fire their crossbows or drop stones on the opponents below. So this place was not meant to be used in combat, but rather as shelter from claws and fangs. Such structures can be found in especially untamed parts of the Dragonwoods, used occasionally by travelers or patrolling squads. Since the end of the war, the cities can't find enough people and dragon bones to keep them in good shape. You see no footsteps, no lights, no fresh trash or latrine. The birds are preening their feathers on top of the tower, while the branches of nearby trees are swaying in the fierce cold. Maybe there's something. I look for tracks I saw near the fallen tree. Let's do that. The tracks lead here, through the narrow gate, then west. The hard heels are especially noticeable. Okay. Examine the campfire spot. You see a shattered bowl, the remains of a meal from many years ago. However, the firewood, the lonely stool are not too old. You don't doubt that the watchtower seems less threatening to wayfarers in the wilderness around it, even when it's locked. Maybe there's something interesting in the trees. Must be a human-made copse. Only the smallest of the spruce are out of order, born of wild seeds. The largest trees are tall as the tower itself, which surely doesn't help those who are meant to observe their surroundings. There are also some stumps, most of which used to belong to young saplings. These trees are likely meant to be sold to carpenters and coopers. They were left alone many years ago. In the copse, you find wild fennel and lettuce, thriving in shadows. And there are pears and berries growing among the nearby trees and shrubs. Sweet. Can I get some of that stuff or what? Take a look at the signpost. The wooden letters are damaged by decades of rain, frost, borers, claws, and mosses. You scratch off some of the moss. The plank on the top points both towards the watchtower, where the letters spell south, and away from it, with the additionally carved north. The one beneath it points east, and this time you see a tidily written word painted in the wood in blue. Enchanting. In Hovlavian, the enchanters are artisans specialized in filling ordinary items of magical pneuma. And sure enough, the arrow here looks more like a magic wand. The bottom plank, pointing west, has a picture of a tall tower on it, surrounded by little wet houses. The carving spells monastery. But the woods is covered in red paint, suggesting Approach the entrance. You take a look at Saul. You mean this guy? If necessary, it could bow its head and walk inside. This place should be a decent shelter for both of you. The planks are strong, heavy, well protected from the rain and wind, and when you knock, they seem to be thick. While the door shakes at your push, it won't open. Defensive structures usually have a locking bar on the inner side, but you also see a large keyhole. You walk around the tower, making sure there are no windows or other entrances. It doesn't look like you can get in without destroying the door, or doing so is going to make a potential entryway for wild creatures. Look through the keyhole. You kneel down and take a peek. There's nothing in the hole, but the room is dark, with tiny bits of lighting passing through the crevices of the windows. You see the shapes of wooden furniture, like tables, casks, and a ladder. The only movement you notice belongs to the dust dancing. What time is it? What do we got? 9 hours before dusk? I mean, I'm not going to break open this door, right? I feel like I can make it to the enchanter first. I honestly don't want to go the way the tracks are leading, because I'm just one. First of all, I'm not a fighter. I'm one guy. I feel like if I go to the enchanter, maybe I'll be able to get some boon first. All right, let's approach the entrance. Oh no, walk to the gate. Setting up a firm wall in a place like this is a bit unusual. It goes on for no more than 40 feet, till it connects with a natural rock face. Such a structure could be found near the city, acting as a checkpoint at which to stop any travelers to search through their belongings or request a fee. But in the middle of nowhere? Deer and other animals used to running here with no hindrance must have been more than annoyed. A risky investment. You touch the gate made of high-quality wood, previously soaked in oil, now mostly wiped off. It was left open, and you don't see any wooden bar that would use to lock it. You try to move the cold planks buried in dried-out mud, but with no luck. It would require some wearying digging. Alright. Let me just double-check which way the enchanter is. So, enchanter is pointing east. Go east. The first part of the trail is narrow and overgrown. The steep crag in the south divides the lush forest in half. You barely recognize any shapes in the entanglement of grays, browns, and greens. The northern landscape, while similarly impenetrable, is the exact opposite. The meadow turns into barren hills and mountains, barely covered by grass and bushes. Maybe the riding ibixes of the clanspeople from the growing mountains could get through such a barrier. There are no clans. When did this icon display our entire area at once? Oh. Alright. The road leads you downhill to the edge of a lake. Clearing around the dwelling is quiet with no crickets, flies, or even toads. Grass is not even knee-high. There are no signs of a wharf or boats. The wall wasn't coated and has already been bitten by winds. For an entrance. Right next to the gate, a gargoyle or a stone look-alike kneels on a slab. It's dark purple, almost black, with yellow pointy teeth. Though its half-open mouth has no tongue, and the creature doesn't even move an inch, the eyes have been replaced by crystals, red like currant juice. Anyone home? I'm gonna touch the gargoyle. The hands seem tiny when placed on a monster's shoulder, which is coarse and cold like rock. You consider pushing one of the teeth, but the eyes of the gargoyle suddenly grow brighter. What do you want? I'm not expecting anyone. The words are coming from the monster's mouth, though it remains still. Stand in front of me. I want to see your mug. The drawling voice belongs to a woman, but is lined with unnatural creaking. Step closer. Eyes don't rotate nor blink. All right. Should I be playful? Should I put on the old podiatrist charm? Should I be like... should I be like this? Should I look like Saul? Vulnerable. You think this person would be like a... I'm just a little guy. I was attacked by goblins. I was attacked by goblins, please. The joke didn't work last time. So I'm gonna be you know what? No. I feel like the joke will work. I must say, oh wait, I can choose. I must say, as a road warden, I've seen some disgusting beasts, but you surely have the kindest voice of them all. I'm Foot. I'm the new road warden. I value my time. I'd like to ask you a few questions if that's fine with you. I'm Foot, the new road warden. I hope you're having a great day. Ew, now let's do the joke. Time to be sexy. During the long pause, the glow of the gargoyle's eyes subside. Once they light up again, the voice gets even colder. I don't know what answer you're looking for, so you'll get none. Do you even know who I am? I don't, I'm afraid. Just getting to know the realm. So you lost your way, and now you're wasting my time. I can't help but speak like a pirate of this one. I'm Yodisa. I'm Yodosia, the only enchantress you find in this land, and you're disturbing my work. I don't see people in the middle of the day. Return to early morning or a few hours before dusk if you have to. Best yet, don't bother me at all. The monster's eyes darken again. Your mount is ready to ride away. Should I just wait? Or should I be mad at her? Should I make her angry? Or should I prove my resolve as a warden and wait as long as it takes for her to let me in? Sleep outside her front door? I think I'm gonna wait. Prove my loyalty to the magical cause. It's getting colder, but finally the monster's eyes glow red. Go inside, I'll be with you soon. Wait, what? Did I really wait till... Oh, okay. The monster's eyes darken again. Soon after, you hear heavy steps and the earth shakes. Something lifts the beams locking the gate. You realize that your hand is already on the haft of your axe. Try to relax. I'm safe. Relax. Oh, I get a golem. The gate opens violently and rebounds with a loud thud, almost closing again. The creature in front of you is made of floating rocks that appear to be connected, but it's just an illusion. They could twist and bend in every direction. The eyeless sentinel faces you blankly. You've seen other golems in Hovlavian, endlessly helping with bothersome tasks, but you have no idea what makes them move. It lowers its slab-like hands and steps inside, making a way for you. Its head rotates following your steps, but other than that, it's emotionless as a statue. See, this would have been great to be a wizard. I could be like, actually, the golems are held together by lightning ley lines that actually act as sinew and muscles. And then the enchantress would be like, yo, you know how golems work? And then they like fist pump me like, my guy, yeah, brother. That's what I'm saying. Enter the yard. The house in front of you has a huge entrance just large enough for a golem. The building is whitewashed, but the lime is aged and damaged. Making pipe bombs is Chad shit. That's true. I don't need magic to send a message to the government. I don't need magic to tell the government what I'm thinking, if you know what I mean. The tools are spread around in no particular order. The rocks resting on the top of the shed resemble the golems. A few birds stare at you from the roofs, while many more ignore you. None seem willing to approach the garden patches despite the growing, though neglected, vegetables. It's quiet here. I'm going to approach the sitting golem. It seems dead, inactive, as city folk would call it. But the pneuma that makes its chunks float less than an inch away from one another. Oh, the pneuma still makes its chunk floats less than an inch away from one another. It doesn't react to your presence. Unlike the previous golem, this one bears engraved signs on its larger rock. Their meaning is unclear to you, and you can't tell if they're decoration or carriers of a spell. Leaf of the door opens. I know these letters. Because I went to college. The signs represent regular words used in Wright's tablets. Their shapes are very old, angular, not adjusted for the softness of a quill. The words read as follows: hunt, prey, chase, meet, beast, run, bring, wait, and disguise. The golem's owner is standing behind you. Oh, cool. It's like the programming for the golems. That's awesome. Fun fact, if you know anything about Jewish magic. Anyone here a big fan of Jewish magic? Anyone? Yeah. Any Jewish magic fans? Fun fact, with the golems created by Jewish magicians in the days of yore, or in books written about them, it was actually commonplace to carve your intentions on the clay in which you were creating the golem. This is obviously a reference towards the creation of golems in Jewish magic. Yeah. So get educated. I turn behind him. The woman is tall and stands upright, with her arms crossed and legs apart. She's more than 30, with a face touched by lack of sleep. She gives you a long look, observing your blade, hands, boots, forehead, everything but your eyes. I greet ye, without the distortion caused by the gargoyle. Her strong voice isn't as disquieting. No surprise that it caught your eye, but don't disturb it. It's not very much awoken and will defend itself, or me, if it comes to it. I give her a better look. She's wearing a long, ragged robe, covered in stains. It used to be blue, but now is an unevenly pale. She's barefoot, with skin covered with dust and dirt. Her dark hair was recently washed, but is untidy, spread on her shoulders, back, and chest. She wears no jewelry, belt, or buckles. Glad you have a moment to spare. Won't bother you, yeah. Barefoot, just the way I like 'em. I gotta figure it out. How am I gonna get on this enchantresses? I mean, they're enchanting me. I'm glad I have a moment to spare. I won't bother you for long. It's quite a few hours to reach this place. I bet not many people come around. Let's get to it. I don't say anything. Thank you for agreeing to see me. I don't want to be a coward. I'll just be nice. Maybe being vulnerable would be good in this. No. I'm glad you have a moment to spare. I won't bother you for long. She looks at the ground and drawls out her words. I sure hope not. I'm not interested in chatter. If you need to bother me, speak in the tongue of dragons and barter. I don't serve stew. I don't offer baths. If you came here, I better get aught from it. She walks away and cocks her head towards the golem who let you in. Turns around and shuts the gate. Good that ye came at such an hour. Keep it up in the future. If ye ever come here in the middle of the day, you'll stand outside looking at a door like an ibex. We don't need more salutations, so her voice remains cold. Why are you here? Shit, we gotta get in with this person, huh? I'll ask about Astorian first. I'm looking for Astorian, the previous road warden. Nah, he's not here. Not even a mouse in my shed. She meets her eyes. Her hair gray irises. Her gray irises remain absent. Her sigh turns into a snort. Aught else? What's this symbol? Oh, it's like purchasing. Surely you filled some arrows of Numa before. Any ideas where this is from? Oh, that's interesting. She probably doesn't know jack shit about that. What's your story? Why do you live in so far from the village? I have some questions about your limbs. I'm gonna ask her about the arrow. What are you tracing? A murderer? She smirks, but then grabs the arrow and takes a quick look. People like these people, when they're like, leave me to my work, they love solving problems. You give them a problem to solve, they love it. She smirks and then grabs the arrow and takes a quick look. Black and orange. I don't know much about the wood, but I recognize these feathers. The people of Gale Rock breed such pheasants. He gives it back. It's in the far north, close to the coast. So that must have been where the people came from. Maybe they shot back. Autistic, something like that. Far north, close to the coast. Okay, so maybe this is the arrow from the people who got kidnapped. Alright. You feel an item of mine of Numa? That's not how this works. She points at her golems. Her nails are short and clean. Her hands are soft. I work all the time, but each item takes me days, sometimes a full season. Tribes bring me things to enchant in the early spring and collect them a year later. I've got to... She blinks a few times, not sure what to say. Her gray eyes widen. Imagine stuff. Takes a great focus. You mentioned that you'd be generously rewarded, but she only shrugs. You don't plant, you don't build. It won't eat dragon bones. I won't eat dragon bones. For now, do your warden duties and come by at the end of the autumn. Maybe I'll have a night time to get something done for ye after the thaws. Well, I guess if it takes time, I'll think about it. I'm sure they'll love the talk shop. She walks around the closet, the closest sentinel, and observes it like a farmer would a donkey before a purchase. Isn't it clear what they are? Furniture that walks and works. They carry rocks and logs, hunt, kind of, and protect this place while I rest. What else is there to say? It's so loud when it walks. Don't monsters react to its presence? She lets out a chuckle. They flee from them as they would from trolls. They can't stalk their prey or jump at them from a bush, but when they don't move for long, the beasts take them for rocks. It's not like they need to breathe. They just sit still, waiting for a roe deer to get close. The golem's eyes suddenly get brighter. It jumps forward and punches the air. It lands with a sound of thunder. That's why I need them to be so large, the enchantress explains. I can't give them muscles. The speed I give them is pure pneuma. Being firm and heavy helps. She disregards your mention of the wrath of the herds. True, I make more mess than most humans would, but that's one of the reasons why I stay away from the villages. Being all alone, I give the beasts time to get used to my walls, and then my sentinels know to stay away from unicorns and pebblers. Talk? Eudycia still moves her lips, but her words are not coming from... she still moves her lips, but her words are coming from the stone creature, which doesn't have moved an inch. No more than the gargoyle ye seen. The voice is deep, distorted by an echo. They don't need meat or bones and listen to my commands, but have no understanding of what's happening around them. To create a sentient creature, you need a human shell and a whole lot of necromancy. The golem raises its hand and shows you its palms. I'm not going to touch that. She then mentions that her creation isn't much of a messenger. It needs to remain close to her. Just look at it. The golem covers its non-existent mouth. It has no eyes, snout, ears. Seeing the world through its head is like putting your eyeball in a rose bush. It takes pneuma, and the further away it is, the more exhausting it gets. For sale? One day, or so I hope so, he points at the golem's hand. One wrong order and it'll tear your head away, or kick over a house. It won't ever be safe, but the dead make for bad customers, and I won't blame for other stupidity. Her further answers come in greater detail, but they're rather complex. For what you understand, she plans to invent a set of very specific commands that could be quickly learned, then bind them to a wand, binding it to the creature. I'm still not sure if it's the safest solution. If a wand was taken by a reaver, stuff could get ugly. How do you make one? I fill each rock with pneuma, bind them together. She pauses, then waves it off. You won't build one anyway. Like alchemists, enchanters have their own secrets. I've got no way of sharing my talents with others. Change the topic then. What's your story? I don't want to ask about a job yet. I want to get to know him first. She looks around. No. Fine. Fair enough. What can you tell me about enchanting? She looks at your hands and starts to twirl her hair. Not really. I don't know how I do the stuff I do. As a kid, I put pneuma into my toys. I made my earthen sparrows fly, and my whistle gave a tune without being blown. I practiced for years, but by doing, not by understanding. She puts a hand on her hips and observes her clean nails. I can't teach stuff that's in me fingers, or my eyes, or my breath. It's just a part of me. Looking for a job. There we go. She stands still for a moment. Drink some water here. She stands still for a moment, then cocks her head to the side. I've got some stuff that could use another hand. Are you up for some danger if it comes to it? You nod and ask what sort of creature is bothering her. Nah, I meant riding and climbing. If you can do it without grabbing that axe of yours, fine. Now give me a moment. She opens one of the heavy doors to her house, and you can catch a glimpse of a messy bed and a floor covered with clothes. After a minute, she shows up with a large sack filled with rods made of smooth, clean bronze. Here's the gist of it. I need you to get to eat spots across the peninsula. High buildings, trees, mountainsides. I don't really travel much. She lets out a confident chuckle, so I can't hold your hand. I need one of them in white marshes in the wetlands far west of here. Other than that, you need to keep your eyes open. Takes one of the rods. Once you reach a good spot, place one of these as high as you can. I'll pay ye in dragons, 2 for each one. But place at least 4 before you come to see me. I need as many of them out there as possible. So far, so good. What are they for? Well, there's magic in them, as you can imagine. You weigh a rod in your hand, even though it's more than 2 feet long. It's light, empty, and... Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading in her voice. You weigh a rod in your hand, even though it's more than 2 feet long. It's light, empty inside. You could bend it on your knee. The bag also contains a long hemp cord and a scrap of cloth. If I were to send my golems away, let's say a mile or 2 from here, they'd stop moving at all, waiting for me to show up. She approaches the nearest sentinel and touches its chest. They carry similar rods inside, so the plan is to give my orders better range, so to speak. I'm tired of depending on hirelings, especially since they no longer stop by. She leans against the golem with her arms crossed. Questions? How much time do I have? Oh, don't worry about it. She dusts off the golem's arm. Let's say before the leaves turn yellow. Some of the locals may not be happy with me putting bronze rods on their roof. Gives you a puzzled look. Wardens do have their ways to get on people's good side, correct? Barter with her. I want to barter with her. I may be forced to pull some strings to get it done. 2 dragon's bones won't be enough. You haggle for a bit, but her distrust is like a wall. She waves your arguments off. I'm not a merchant. I don't gather coins for the thrill of it. I'm putting almost 20 dragons on the table here. Should be enough. Do all 8 rods, and I may prepare aught else for ye. And you're not gonna go killing everybody? Her gray eyes gives you a long, disquieting look. You could swear it's getting colder here. I won't ask for your trust, and I don't need it. Either help me or leave the rods and do your own stuff. We have a deal. Alright, what do you got to sell? Well, I'm not a trader. I do the stuff people ask me about, and they're not for sale. She glances at the house and towards a pocket at her hips. But there's one tool that I'm willing to part for 10 bones, and it's for spellcasters only. She reaches out to you. On her open palm, you see a flat, small pebble, bluish, but in no way unusual. You put it in your mouth and press it to your palate. No chewing, she smirks. If you're a sorcerer, it will restore your pneuma. What if it's used by someone who doesn't have it, who still has pneuma in them, or can't? Oh, you don't want to do that. She grabs the end of her hair. It will boil your blood and rip your skin apart. Each shell is like a bottle for pneuma. It has its limits. You can train to contain more of it, like I've been doing for more than 20 years now. But there's no magical rock that's gonna do it for you. I'll think about it. I'm not a wizard. Not my thing, bro. Sorry, bro. I need a place to rest. Even though she draws out her words of frustration and speaks with ease, as if she's reciting a memorized speech. I know how harsh the woods can be, but I don't offer shelter to travelers. I don't want to look behind my own shoulders for hours and use my golems to protect ye. Travel south or north and look for a tavern or an inn. You'll find safe hearth there. She blinks and crosses her arms. And we're both adults. Don't tell me that I could bind ye with a rope or take away your blades. Less I have to touch ye, the better. Oh, jerk. Come on, man. You got a big wall. 2 golems. Can't an enchantress show off her trophy? She gives you a proud smile. My sentinels took it down years ago. The tribe of old Pagos is found of statues. So I have my own, like in the old days, long before monks came to the north. Seeing your puzzled look, she twirls her hair. A dead gargoyle on the road or by a village gate was meant to scare off evil spirits. I don't know about that, but its sight sure taught the local beasts who they're dealing with. Learn more about the peninsula. I am not selling gossip, nor am I buying it. I've lost my hut, my guards, and my lake. I'm an artisan, or I've got my hut, my guards, and my lake. I'm an artisan, not an innkeep. If you need one, ride south to the pelt of the north. The keeper is stiff like a broom, but offers a nice room. Her voice is dripping with annoyance. Or if you'd rather visit a cheerful place, ride north to Foggy Lake. Or was it Foggy's Lake? Whatever. Foggy is the keeper. At least she's not as boring as the other guy. Alright, see you later. Well, it's almost nighttime. But she says if I go north... if I go north, I'll be good. So I've got 4 hours, 3 hours. If I go back, it's half an hour, and then I could stay in that tower. Or I can go north and see if Foggy's is the next place. And risk sleeping in the streets. I'm thinking of going north. Getting late, better look for a safe place to sleep. Where are we at? 2 hours. With no trees or crags blocking the sun, the road is bright and inviting. The simple bridge is centuries old, bitten by time. Makes you think of the dolmen you saw south of here. The torrent here is deep and fast, with plenty of fish. The boat is destroyed beyond repair. Rotten, falling to pieces with holes in the floor and on the sides, overgrown of fungi and moss. The thick shrubs are covered with thorns. Small birds are jumping from one twig to another, pecking at the brown berries. Knowing from the herbia that the fruits are safe, you eat a few bittersweet ones as well. I think I've read something about these fish. You see dozens of red and gray shells. As you walk by, they stay close, following your steps. According to the testimonies from a murder trial you've read about, they have long and sharp teeth, eat flesh, and could scrape your skull clean in a minute or so. Could you imagine if I had taken a bath? Like, I've been looking for a place to take a bath this whole time. I bet that one river was more safe than this one. I look around for an hour or so, maybe. Oh shit, but this is gonna waste my time. Fuck. After what feels like an eternity of searching around the boat, the banks and shrubs, you sit down on the bridge and take a break. You realize you haven't really looked beneath it. You kneel on the grass and look into the darkness. Among the cobwebs and bugs, you spot an old piece of fabric pinned under a rock. You pull it out to find a rotting, torn pouch that contains a single dragon bone. Yes! You make sure you haven't missed the other ones in the dirt. But if they ever existed, they have rolled down and sunk for good. Throw the pouch away and stand up. Saul looks around nervously and approaches you when it notices your attention. Oh. So I can either keep going. It's 1 hour. Let's push it. Let's push it. We can push it a day. I'm gonna push it. The gentle road leads downhill, getting greener and less rocky and further north you get. Just in case your eyes run towards a few drier parts of the meadow and you instantly shout at Saul to make a pack of short-haired wolves, at least 20 members strong, is chasing after you. Their coat are a mixture of yellow, black, and white spots, as if someone threw mud and paint on them. They move towards the road with a human-like speed, and you realize only some of them are running straight at you, trying to cut my path. If it wasn't for your palfrey, the beast would have already caught up with you. The trap was perfectly set up, not leaving you any path of escape. Your terrified mount is disciplined enough to stay on the beaten path, and even though one of the big-eared wolves almost sinks his teeth into your mount's thigh, you manage to squeeze between the hunters. For the next few minutes, you do your best to go further away, and while your gallop is indeed faster, the wolves easily shorten the distance by moving through the sparse forest. You ride past a wooden cabin placed in the clearing at the bottom of the rock face, but you can't stop while being chased. Fuck. Maybe I have something I could use here. I have nothing to fight them with. I don't have any potion that will help me here either. You think about your sack and bundles, but the pack won't wait for you to sort things out. The group gets larger and further you go, and even more of its members previously hidden among the trees and grasses now join the hunt, allowing their tired family members to slow down. You may be able to lose them after some time, but scarring, or wounding some of them may force them to give up their prey sooner. Well, I don't throw a rod at them. I have nothing to fight them with. You focus on the road ahead, forcing your mount to speed up whenever the beasts try to catch it. After another few minutes, you leave the hills and enter the grasslands of a valley, but the pack doesn't give up on you yet. At least their numbers have stopped growing. You're already outside of their territory, and the handful of spotted, colorful shells also seem tired. They're forced to stay on the beaten path. Without a palfrey, I would have been dead already. I'm just dirty now. I'm more dirty. You You get out of the valley and follow another narrow path through the hills and trees, clearly shaped by humans, at least in part. The leaves and rocks start to blur into a vague memory. But after just another few minutes, the howls stop. You don't slow down just yet. Those are some stubborn wolves. You reach a gentle, open path, seeing a lake to the west and hearing a gentle creek ahead of you. Saul is exhausted, but patient, more happy to survive than it is angry at your wanderlust. At least you can hope the pack will move to a different place during the night. Better get out of the saddle and let it rest for a bit before I... Scary. Like morning. The air is humid, but fresh and vitalizing. The light touches the road and shrubs, blocked only by a single willow, wild and untrimmed. You're by a lake, too large for you to see its other bank, but the local soil isn't too fertile. There are only a few trees on the horizon, while struggling bushes and grasses fight with layers of rock. The further path north is green, bright, and calming. A gray rabbit is cleaning its fur near the brook, but the sound of hooves make it hop towards the nearest shrub. Right after it sinks into the leaves, you hear its squeal cut off quickly. Whatever its hunter was, it leaves behind only the rustling of the thicket, the trail of blood. You wait for a long minute with a hand on your axe, but the creature doesn't return. Relax a bit, and turn towards a stone statue of a young woman. Such a monument would be better fit for a temple or a rich city folk. Here, without any cover, already losing its shape from the rains and dust. Chunks of the face and hair have already broken off. It has detailed eyes and human-like proportions. Clothes are like fabric petrified by a spell. The statue carries the unusual traveling equipment. It carries the usual traveling equipment. A walking staff, a gambeson, simple pants now covered by leaves. It's a shame to see it deteriorating. You observe its delicate face and broken fingers, the last bits of which still hold the staff. You wonder why someone would place such a thing here. Yeah, it's a person that's been stonified. You live in a fantasy world. Don't you think that's the obvious thing? Maybe a statue of a long-gone hero is made by likeness of the person who placed it here. She wanted to be remembered. She welcomes the travelers heading to the sea. Some had dropped it off after their wagon broke. I think it marks a place of great importance. It all matters that it's pretty. Oh, I should have looked at the pedestal so I should have seen the toes. Lost opportunity to see the toes there. Made in the likeness of a person who played there. I see it welcomes travelers, I imagine. Or maybe it's a great importance. I think this is like... I'm like a pagan. I feel like this would be a great importance statue. There are no answers to find in the statue's absent eyes. I could get rid of these branches, clear space in front of the statue. Yeah. What for? Why would I clear it? Something valuable. I want to make clear that there's no new road warden to care. Someone who I want to make it clear there's a new road warden around. Someone who cares. Statue may represent an ancestor of the local families, ought to be protected. I'm going to say this one. I'm a new road warden. Yeah. I clean up the road statues. Yeah, I'm the new road warden. I make sure the toes of these statues are pristine. You dismount and approach the bushes. You try to push them away, but their stems are thick and healthy, crowded by insects and spider webs. Thankfully, you see no thorns, and the touch of a leaf doesn't make your fingers itchy. I need to seek shelter. It's too dangerous. Oh, too dangerous. Fuck it. I'm already staying up late. I'm gonna take an hour and eat. I'm gonna clear it up. I don't give a shit. You tether Saul to a tree, letting it choose between drinking, grazing, and napping. You prepare your equipment, keeping an eye on the bush, and saw their rabbit's last moments. Use your weight to move the plants to one side, then cut right above the ground. Stems are healthy and flexible, so getting through them is rough, and you have enough strength to deal with them in a couple of minutes. You throw them into the lake. The work goes for a bit. Once you're done, the statue stands in its former glory. A couple of old offerings are still on the pedestal. Polished rocks, bone figurines, moldy bowls, and plates that used to store food. In one vessel, you see a dragon bone. It's dark and could be older than a generation, but it would surely be accepted by any urchin. No, I don't want to besmirch the gods. You never know. You never know. See if I could take a nice swim in the stream. Brook would hardly cover your feet, but still sit in the pebbles and splash yourself with water. I wash my face and hands. Saul quenches his thirst and looks for intruders. I step away. So, okay, if I can't go any further. I have to camp here. I have to camp here. So I'm gonna. It's gonna. I don't know if it kill. I don't know if this means it kills me, but I guess we'll find out. Hold up. Let's quick save. We'll find out. Oh no, I have to travel. Oh, I have to travel. Wait. Oh, what? Oh, I guess I traveled back here. What? No, but I have 0 health. What? So that did kill me? My only choice was to go back? No, quick load. Nothing else I can do here? Can't go back. Inventory. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I guess I gotta lose all my... I don't know. I guess I gotta get killed. I don't know if this kills me. Still, the pyre is no more. The stench barely lingers. The soldiers are preparing bowls of gruel. Tulia welcomes you with a nod. Still alive, I see. I have more questions. To be... Approach Tulia. Alright, guess I'll just sleep. I'm gonna die. I'm going to die. This will kill me. I'll eat a ration of food. But I'm going to die. This will kill me. I'll just be dead, right? Oh, okay. Like most people, you wake in the middle of almost every night. Before your second sleep comes, you spend an hour or two taking care of your belongings, shell, and soul. Some people spend this time with their friends, families, or lovers, but your routine is different. You don't have to take care of essential tasks. I stretch my muscles. I spend some time outside observing the stars. I check on Saul. I gotta make sure it's gotta be Saul. Pray and think about my dreams. I love me horse. I love me horse. I love Saul. I love me horse. I'm just a podiatrist who loves his horse. Your back begs you to stand up. A green field mouse is foraging in the grass, unaware that you've noticed it. You prepare Saul for the... Wash my face. Well, I'm kind of fucked, aren't I? I guess I should go north now, huh? I should go north. Oh, cool. So once you visit a place, it will tell you how much time it'll take to get there. And I guess you have a chance of random events while that happens. I'm going to go west. I got to go to the inn. Saul trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. Speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower, taller than the trees. Must be the inn I've heard about. As long as my horse lives, I'll die happy. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers guarded by expensive mercenaries surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide here, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labors put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet, right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and linen gray. I approach the gate. Oh, I'm like smelly and dying. Look at this. I'm like miserable. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of colors doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you. She speaks loudly. I hadn't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of villages spread around Hovhaven. But no jackass would wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says this one here says there really are donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? Well, they're playing playful with me. Well, or should I be like, quite hard, honestly. Some days are still rough on me. Ooh, you wanna hurt a little guy? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I gotta be playful. The lessons were pain. I'm just so ugly right now. I'm dirty and exhausted. You get off your horse and imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey, when your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from back to your hips and then thighs. In return, the guards tell you about the time when they had to carry their friend with bitten off legs for 3 days straight. Through the heart of the woods. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. You may be in a good mood, the woman in the yellow jacket smiles at you. But you don't get so noisy when you talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has had the world's suffering sculpted on his face. She leads you to under the roof, under which your palfrey can rest, tethering with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside, speak with your boss, or speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could eat a horse, except for mine. I love my horse. The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they are splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head towards the inn, hearing the piercing screams of a boar from the other side of the yard. The locked windows make the air stuffy. The weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. If you're in an inn in the morning, you could spend the entire day on resting. I think I might do that. His voice is deep and soft, a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I've got a keg of decent ale. Wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it up on the countertop. It's going to spoil soon. Today, maybe. We don't drink here even before... We don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. Elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. Sounds like it's already spoiled by the ingredients. Wormwood, bog myrtle. Dude, that's just absinthe. Wormwood's like a minor hallucinogen. I don't know what bog myrtle is. Cat's foot. No idea. Sounds like you're just giving me, like, kombucha. This is kombucha. Stand at the counter. The planks let out a creak after every step you make. So you slow down a bit. Swear the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pelt of the north doesn't belong to Hovhaven. You can sleep on the floor if you wish, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. May have some leftovers from dinner, but I need the check. Yeah, they just chugged all the spices. He was actually gonna make dinner, and then he was like, fuck. My oregano's gonna go bad. Fuck. I'll just put it in the beer. They won't know. Thank you for the drink. I see you know how to make friends with the Road Warden. Happy to help. As a Road Warden, I'm more capable of taking care of the entire cast if you need me to. Won't stay here for long. I'm not here to pay compliments to piss in a mug. I'm a Road Warden. Thank you, I'm a Road Warden. I'd never refuse a drink. Oh. I'm gonna be friendly. Actually, no. This is the guy who doesn't know how to smile. I gotta be stoic. I won't be here for long. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. I guess there's no point in waiting for Asterion then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road, even if they need to see the healers of Howler's Dell. And they're more than resourceful. A Road Warden is always going to find work here in the north, though maybe not on the eastern road. Yeah, no kidding. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I could take a short break. For a brief moment, he meets your eyes. Gotta drink this brew. Dark room and wooden walls of the mug make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The lee in spring hits your nose. The first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. Yeah, he just put absinthe in a beer. It sounds awful. Innkeeper nods, us hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is... There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike. They've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs, and I've no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. Rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Den, northwest from the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Thias, the mayor, about Glossia, bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. Glossia's ready to break the truce with the locals. I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple days won't make it much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? Ooh, should I bargain? He nods with a smile. Hell yeah. I'm gonna be rolling in it. Let's see. I could eat something. Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucket full and you'll be done in half an hour or so. The horse could use a nap anyways. I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made from metal or wood. It's a long, curved claw, almost black. Do I look like someone who forages berries? No, I love that shit. I'm with nature, Mother Nature. My yonis are aligned, my chakras are balanced. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. Ah, the berries are not the problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook and protect your hands. Little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Yeah, I'll do that first. I gotta eat. Saul, you step outside. Saul is pawing the ground. You hear the sounds of work coming from the armorer's workshop. I gotta forage for berries. Sorry, guys. Whoop. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't look long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you for a slither closer, you jab of the hook. The jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They are round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. Plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so you make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill your bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. I notice a shrub that's not like the others, because I went to college. One of the bushes in the back has more berries than the others. They're purple, and as you squeeze one of them, you recognize these are marsh buells. In small amounts, they are added to pies, sauces, and beverages, known for their delicate sourness and sweetness. Unique, but not intrusive. Still, eating a cup of them will make one sick, if not poisoned. You're not surprised to see them in a meadow far away from a wetland. Use them at an alchemy table if you find it. For now, you put a fistful in your jars. The others are still a bit green. Gather the berries and return to the gate. Enter the courtyard. 2 of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. Well, I want to go watch the wrestling match. Oh, because I got homework. Put the fruits on the counter. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. Score. I'd serve it even to merchants if they were around. The meal is warm and filling. Seasoned well and not overcooked. And like I've said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky. I've been cooking my whole life. That's cool. Thanks. And how did that old hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have your hands. Should I buy it from him? I feel like this would be useful for me. I need something. I need some sort of tool. I'd like to buy it from you. He narrows his eyes. Can't you make one for yourself? I won't have time for it, and I hate snakes. It's the claw that grabs my interest, honestly. Ah, I see. It's a nice one, ain't it? My guards once had to get rid of a pebbler. You can't really eat them, but their claws and bones are durable enough, so we put them to good use. For a moment, he observes your face. A single coin will be fair. Well, I got a coin from a bag on the road, so this is my moldy bag coin. So score. Take my moldy bag coin, you wretch. All right, so I ate. I'm looking for Asterion, the previous road warden. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be much help. He rests his elbows on the tabletop and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so. When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, my half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously. You get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy. I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looks out a window and starts to play with a shutter. I think just Asterion ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune. I'd risk saying he'd earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a road warden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. The village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So, let me know if you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. Let's see. Any rumors? Crosses his arms. I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby, but you know what you're doing. Who are you wondering about? Tell me about. Ooh. Oh, what was her name? My name is Foot. I used to be a scholar. Good. Gotta remember that. Journal. Alright, here we go. Humans. I want to ask about the Enchantress. Eodosia. Oh, Eodosia is crazy. She lives in a lonely house all by herself, skinny and dirty like a corpse eater, surrounded by golems. Never smiles, never cries, one of those. She never leaves her home, and if you see it from far away, it looks abandoned. A few times a year, people travel to her and trade barrels of food for magical items. How about? What else should we learn about? Ooh, I bet he has something. Let's ask him about Tulia, because she knows something. The Enchantress? Autistic. I ain't seen Tulia in quite some time. Since her squad vanished in the fog, she's been careful. Glad to know she's still alive. She's too inexperienced to lead others to battle, I think. He shrugs. Like most people, she needs to follow others. She already knows that. There's nothing worse than a fighter too stupid to limit their ambitions. And then let's ask about Foggy. Oh, you mean Foggy the tavern keeper, I assume. You'll find her on the northern road, far from here. Truth be told, I don't know much about her. Tavern and inn owners don't have much opportunities to see each other, he chuckles. But she's a fun one, drinks a lot, makes feasts, ain't as scared of beasts as most people. Looks like there's some good coin to be made in her scrap of the peninsula. He looks away. Who'd have guessed? Or maybe she just has a nose for coins. Dang, I wish we survived that wolf encounter. I would have loved to run to the Foggy. They sound like a riot. They sound like a real treat, a hoot and a holler. Is there anyone else I care to know about? Maybe Asterion? Well, not a large man, though broad-shouldered, red-haired, and a beard. I don't know what to say. He raises a muscled arm and places a hand on the back of his head. He was a fine fellow, but I doubt he's alive. He always tried to stay away from things, let's say. People knew him, but he didn't really have allies. Maybe the locals know what happened to him, yet decided not to help him, or they wanted to get rid of him. He leans forward and looks at his boots. Asterion was a fine man. Quiet one, but not dumb. He aided me many times, not for free, of course. And when he couldn't finish the job, it was a damn good reason. You know what? He looks at you in the eyes. He was scrupulous, patient. I'd be shocked if he died because of some of the mistake of his. Maybe the bandits got him. Why not? Alright, that's all I need to know about people. Let's ask about the inn, and then let's ask about Glossia. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. Didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade. Villages stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared. Now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn. We don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws, and bones, we get what we need, and both from the south and the... He relaxes in his chair. We have a good life here. We spend a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears, but in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Hovlavin and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. It's gonna be huge. We're gonna make it. We're gonna be the biggest inn in the world. Surprised to find a purple-skinned man. Why would I say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I'm like curious if he means purple as in like like if you're purple like grapes. I guess that's something. All right. I ain't seen a soul looking like this since my ma died, he shrugged. It's not a fascinating tale. Let's just say I wasn't a part of the invasion. Yet I'm glad it freed all those who were chained by the cities and their corsairs. He looks at the wall. I'm Lyson, by the way, but I rarely hear that name. Is there any good story behind the inn's name? I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For many years, I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in my city it would be a bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap, had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, the Mugger, Basilisks, and Blissful, I think. The good places used to have 2 words, Empty Barrel, a Rose and Helmet, Empress's Smile. Pighead was the exception. It was a real dive, he chuckles. In my soul, it's still just a pelt. Pelts are what we came here for, and what will make us reach our goals. About Glossia's band. He freezes, observing your hands silently. He wants me to get the answer from the mayor of Howlerstead. How about you know about Saul? You don't know about Saul? Let me tell you about Saul. My horse? Yeah, Saul. How about Jesus Christ? You know about him? Don't know him. How about pagan pagan Jesus? Don't know about pagan Jesus. Let's change the topic then. Do you have anything you'd like to buy? You pull out some items, but the innkeeper shakes his head. I don't need those, nor could I sell them to anyone. I'd rather make coins than waste them, so bring me something of value. What do you have for sale? I could go pick up a few things for you, some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. Got an elk fur I don't need. Its buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot, just as nice for a wall. Almost untouched bowl of soap, priceless for a traveler. You're telling me. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash, strong, though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. Okay, he was being sarcastic. After you mentioned you'd like something more useful on those roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you could take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yew-bow, wool cord, and the trigger needs just a little bit of oil. As good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old can handle it. You haven't met me yet. I went to college. It won't sell cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. All right, well, we can come back and get that crossbow after we get information on this at Howler's. 32 coins. I can't even think about getting it. I will buy some food though. Oh no, hold up. I should buy the box of soap. I am a pretty little boy. I need to keep up my porcelain skin for the ladies. I'll buy one of those. I don't care if it makes them think lesser of me. I gotta stay fresh. Thank you very much. What can you tell me about the peninsula? What could anyone say? This place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He glances at your eyes. But it's not just us who hunt, keep that in heart, but the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, It's just, once you get here, you see how harsh it is to hit the road, and you've only more reason to stay at the warm stove, wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore, that there's no ibexes from the south, and the traders stay for only a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. Our eastern roads is rough, I heard. I mean, even though I traveled them, maybe he has some information if I ever go back. Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not far from here, you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend a night there. Damn, I should have actually just gone to this guy first. The monkeys stole food and gods from their bag. It was their fault. Oh, that's good to know. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but you know, the eastern forests are wild and roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day, all the roads will be swallowed by the trees again. Good thing we didn't stay in the dolmen. I didn't even think monkeys would. I didn't even think monkeys would be in this game for some reason. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Stay on track until you reach the roads right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll recognize the place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow, surrounded by a wall. He looks towards the closed window and then at it again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives as a hermit. Eudicia. I don't even know how she survives there, but if you don't have a decent coin, you won't find much there. So back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. Connects the tower and the monastery. A shortcut between the two sides of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beast. What will I find traveling west? Well, there are hills nearby. You'll find a village maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago. Nothing to see here. Goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it. They say it's haunted, but who cares and who knows? He crosses his arm and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mention pagans you're not used to hearing someone mention pagans as if there's nothing unusual about them. Oh, we gotta get to that tree. There's a small patch south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there. But keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set in a clean brook. Farmers live there, and Moflons and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to the Ape Ale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. Odd. So 3 villages, really. Howler's is the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and Marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. Wonder if it's something you would tell other travelers. You wonder if it's something he'd tell other travelers. Okay. You ever been to the northern coast? I only know about another inn that's far from here, maybe a day on foot, a bit less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. Let's see. Alright. Go outside. Alright, what are we looking at? We're like almost 3 hours. We're almost at the 3-hour mark. How's everyone feeling? You guys liking the game? This fun? I'm having fun. It's a little exhausting. A lot of reading. A lot of reading. But it's very atmospheric. Very nice. It is really cool. Would you guys want to see more of it? Because I'm thinking I might play more. I'm not sure about Wednesday though. Wednesday I was gonna do my Rumbleverse challenge. And have a nice night and day stream, you know, very laid back story stream today, and then just fucking Rumbleverse challenge on Wednesday. I like it enough to be intrigued where it goes. Yeah, I wonder if I'll be able to finish it. I wonder if it'll be too exhausting, but we'll see. I definitely want to try, at least doing one full playthrough of it. I know there's probably a million endings to this game. Well, let's see what's in the well. We have a little bit of time. We'll go to the well. We'll see what's in it, and then I think we'll call it. And then we'll pick this up next week, probably Monday. Probably Monday again next week. I think that'd be fun. Keep on going with Foot, the Podiatrist. The recently renovated wooden roof covers the well from rain and birds. One of the guards is enjoying cold drink he drew with a bucket and tells you to use only as much water as is necessary. The oak ash soap you own can help you get cleaner. Yeah, let's wash. Splashing yourself with cold water from a bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin or mud stains from your. Wait, I need 3 pieces of a bath kit to fully clean myself. Like, I need to collect the 3 bath pieces of Exodia to create the final looking like a decent human being bundle. How do I, Oh, I see. Okay, I can sleep here if there's time to sleep here. I'm like so low on health. I already used my potion when I got killed by goblins. I didn't know you could be at 0 vitality. I'm gonna be so screwed. I can detach the claw. The head is made of dark animal claw. People in the countryside often use bones, claws, or tusks to make tools and weapons, but this one is quite large. End goal of the game is to rid yourself of the stench. Should we detach the claw on this berry picking hook, or should we wait till we have an opportunity to use the hook first? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Just berry pick. I mean, I could do other stuff. All right, yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I can just do this at will. Claws are sculpted into brooches, amulets, pendants, styluses, toys, while a whole set of them may be turned into a large necklace. In the countryside, larger claws are often used for constructing tools or weapons, though they are not too flexible. Well, I'm just going to keep it as a hook for now. It's cool that you can put it back on. What else can I mess with here? Food rations, writing supplies, traveler's set. Oh, cool. So you can find, okay. The rod to the Tower of the Inn. But I don't know how to, let's see. Go to the armorer. You walk past the well and find a small open shed. I think we'd had to talk to the guards, but this is okay. You walk past the well and find a small open shed, not unlike the stable, but with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are two people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long, yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. Ooh, he's teasing me with those sandals. Shit. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Greetings. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what you need. Man smiles in confirmation, looks at a piece of garment in his hand and looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. Could you patch my clothes if they were torn? He shakes his head and points at the uneven seams on his own tunic. It grabs a crude bone needle and shows you its broken head. He wouldn't even if he had the tools, said the boy, but you can try in Howler's Dale or Gale Rocks. For the youngster. Learning the trade, I see. Kind of. He answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it. Seeing your face, and the boy chuckles. He said, safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring, but safe. The man nods. I'm in need of your services. He nods, points at the laces in front of your jacket, raises his clenched fingers to his shoulders, then gently spreads the lowers them, as if he's taking off a robe. Follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few minutes, he gives it back, then reaches for a pouch. He pulls out one dragon bone, shrugs, then another one, and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. Consider his offer. Ooh, we do. I mean, we're at like 0 health. It's only 1 coin. It'll give it a quarter protection, so I'll just do it. I'll do it. I feel like this Gambus can use his adjustments. He nods enthusiastically, but then apologetically points behind him at a small box filled with basic tools. He ain't that experienced, said his assistant. We do this and that, but only the simple things. Shed. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to the guards at another time. I think we'll save here, and we'll continue this story next week. I'm very much enjoying this. Very much enjoying this story. I have like 5 messages on Discord. What's going on? Bunch of private messages. But yeah. Thanks for dropping by, guys. It's gonna be a few weeks of Oh, just a bunch of variety, a bunch of. I mean, tis the season. You know, November is the month where all the games come out, all the cool stuff starts happening. So I feel like we're gonna be playing a lot of new games, a lot of new games. I do want to keep playing Road Warden. New Pokemon's coming out, but I won't be playing that on stream because I'd have to get a whole setup for that. But there's another game. There's a game called the Wandering Village. That's a city management game. I've been looking at that one for a while. It may kickstart me back into the sim genre of games. Oh, what else? I don't know. Oh, a bunch of stuff I can't name. There's a lot of indie titles that are trickling out this year. So I sense we're gonna be playing a lot of new stuff. I'm excited. I'm not gonna overdo it though. Obviously, I'm not made of money, so I'm not gonna be able to purchase a bunch of different games. But we'll definitely be playing new stuff. But yeah. Oh, you might have an extra capture card. Well, maybe we'll see. Because there's really, quite honestly, not a lot of Switch games that I'm particularly interested in playing. So, yeah, the list would need to be big enough, or there would need to be a game that I'm excited enough to stream on the Switch that it would require me to go through those hoops. But I'll let you know. But yeah, Wednesday it's gonna be the kind of opposite of this one. We'll be playing Rumbleverse. I'm gonna be doing the no stats challenge. Those not familiar, in the game there's these powders you can get that increase your damage, health, or stamina. I'm gonna be playing it without that at all, with none, with no stat improvements. If you know anything about the game, that's pretty much suicide. But the game is already getting ridiculously hard. It's full of people who are just absolute tryhards at this point. And so I figured might as well get the challenge in now. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I feel Wednesday. And honestly, that may be determine if I ever want to play Rumbleverse again. So I figured we got to get it out of the way soon before it gets too inundated with the people who've not stopped playing the game since it came out. So that's what we're doing Wednesday. I hope you guys have time to drop by. I'd love to see you guys. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for listening to me read for 3 hours. Very much appreciate it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. Have a good Tuesday. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right. Bye-bye. Goodbye.